And welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. Surprisingly, just out of nowhere, we're suddenly getting the Smackdown title Hell in a Cell match this week. Kind of came out of nowhere, but you know, I'm not complaining, makes the show a bit more interesting, so let's get straight into it. Rey Mysterio kicked off the show, this isn't it, and said that Dominic was injured after being tossed out of the ring by Reigns. Reigns didn't know when he'd be back. The WWE legend was furious and said he couldn't wait until Sunday and wanted to face Roman tonight. The cage lowered around Rey as Roman walked out and said that if it wasn't his fault, Roman asked if Rey was ready to fight him, and Mysterio said he'd never been more ready. Roman walked backstage after saying this to Heyman as he tried to do things his way, and Rey told him to get away, and Roman said that he's going to do things his way. Decent start to SmackDown, basically just getting you hyped before it, did its job, perfectly fine. That was Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz versus Kevin Owens and Big E. Sam was out to watch the match from ringside before things kicked off. KO tagged in earlier, and with Big E's help, he managed to isolate the IC champ. Aziz then got the tag and hit a big boot to E before the match ran outside, where the Giant hit a big slam. After a break, Big E dropped Apollo on the apron before Owens tagged in and hit a powerbomb on the champion. Sammy distracted Owens, almost causing him to miss the count before Aziz hit him with a Nigerian nail in the ring to get the win. After the match, Zayn gloated about how Aziz hitting the Nigerian nail on Owens. I'll give this a 7 out of 10, kind of just progressing that Owens-Zayn feud, and Aziz looks really strong. Backstage, Owens struggled to breathe as he demanded the match with Sami Zayn, and Pearce said it would take place at Hell in a Cell, so I'm looking forward to that. Before we got Nakamura vs King Corbin, Rick Boogs was back with his guitar and ushered in Shinsuke to start the match. Corbin unloaded on Shinsuke as the match began, but Nakamura managed to wipe Corbin out, and Jerry Boogs at ringside. Back in the ring, Corbin had a devastating clothesline and deep six before Nakamura replied with a kick to the head. Nakamura countered a chokeslam, setting up to the Kinshasa and landing it to pick up the win on Corbin. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10. I'm kind of going to not make judgment on this and just see where it goes. But it definitely is an interesting choice. But anyway, Bianca Belair is up next to mock Bayley and asked her to come out in the ring. No one answered. She said Sunday's match with Bayley would be inside the Hell in a Cell where Bayley would beat her. Bayley came out and attacked the champ before being tossed out of the ring and into the announce table. Bianca tried to toss her over the barricade, but Bayley caught her by the hair and returned the offense on SmackDown. Bayley dragged the champ into the ring post, hit one rose plant before posing with the women's title. All the screens in the area changed to a picture of Bayley. Kind of just usual what you'd expect, but to be honest, I'm slightly surprised this is a Hell in a Cell match. It just kind of didn't have that finesse that really makes it a Hell in a Cell match, to be perfectly honest. Otis versus Angelo Dawkins was up next. Gable got a cheap shot on Angelo and fled the ring before the match began when Dawkins chased him. However, Otis blindsided him. Gable was at ringside and attacked Dawkins as well. The two sent him into the steel sets before the two wiped him out in the ring and tossed him back with the suplex clothesline combo. The match had to be called off due to the attack, and Dawkins was unable to continue. 5 out of 10. To be perfectly honest, this was kind of a massive waste of time, and it just presents SmackDown division as not great. Cesaro was backstage on SmackDown and said he didn't go far enough last week. Seth Rollins asking for a civil conversation with him. Rollins said that he was disgusted with him and that he was a disgrace. He promised to put the Swiss Star in his place on Sunday and get what he deserves. Cesaro got up and knocked Rollins out of his chair before walking out, before he got Roman Reigns versus Mysterio. Mysterio was first out and Reigns joined him in a demonic structure before the match began. Roman went for a steel chair right away, but attacked Reigns with it before Roman snatched it from him and tossed WWE legend out of the ring. Ray then used it as a fire extinguisher and sprayed Reigns in the face before smacking him in the head with the cylinder. Mysterio hit a black toolbox and cracked Reigns in the head with another before we headed to the break. Black on SmackDown after the break, Ray set up a chair on Reigns' spine and hit a baseball slide. Ray wrapped the chair around Reigns' neck and set him into the cage before Roman fought back with a headbutt. Mysterio side-slept and Reigns ran straight through a table and was set up for a powerbomb before sending Ray into the cage wall a few times. Reigns used a Superman punch as the match continued and went for a spear, but Ray blocked it. Mysterio managed to set up for 619, but Roman cancelled it. Ray sidestepped a spear in the corner and hit a 619 and then set a chair on top of him and hit a splash, hurting himself in the process. Ray then went for another splash, but it didn't work. Ray's powerbombed and locked in his new submission finisher to get the win. 8 out of 10. This was perfect, really. Ray got the offense in. Roman got the win, and then it just got bigger after the match. As after the match, Jimmy Uso came out and finally acknowledged Reigns as the tribal chief by acknowledging him and Paul Heyman. Rey Mysterio managed to get up and Rollins locked his finisher and once again taking out the legend for good. 8 out of 10, just a fantastic end to SmackDown. This week, SmackDown gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I really enjoyed this week's episode of SmackDown. It was a solid episode. Obviously got that nice surprise of a Hell in a Cell match, which kind of elevated the show a bit. But yeah, on the whole, it was a really, really solid episode of SmackDown, and I enjoyed it. Obviously, the main Hell in a Cell bit was great, and Jimmy finally acknowledging Roman. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.